Decades ago, Martha Mertz, founder of Athena International, knew that community celebrations of women were a way to get more skillful, capable women noticed by men in the community, and that would increase opportunities and equity for women. She was right. And when Norma Rist brought that same celebration to Akron, our world as women here got bigger. Later, Norma had the foresight to create Athena Akron, the first ever Athena affiliate, and here we are. But not only did Martha, Norma, and many women in this room have the vision and put in a lot of hard work to bring us together in celebration, but the attendees here, all of you, said yes. Year after year, people said, yes, I will participate in celebrating my friends, my colleagues, and even women I don't know, because it brings me joy to see women in our community do well, succeed, and be in front of others. Years ago, my teacher, Sonia Neves, taught us over and over, we need each other. We need each other to celebrate together in joy. Our world is so challenged right now in so many ways, globally, nationally, locally. There are issues that no one knows how to solve. And this has always been true. No matter how many problems we solve, no matter how hard we try to help people to relieve homelessness, poverty, racism, sexism, etc., there are always more challenges. Who could bear to live in this world without the joy of celebration? We need each other to remind us that for all the hardships, there is also so much good, so much to celebrate and be joyful about. So kudos to all of you for being here and supporting each other. Sonia also said that in addition to celebrating together in joy, there's another reason we need each other. We need each other to help us bear the pain that is a natural part of living. So here's a personal story. 2 weeks ago, my right leg started hurting. Now, I did my usual. I ignored it. And then after about a day, the pain was so bad that I couldn't walk. And I had to use a walker. You see, I graduated to a cane, but at the time I had to use a walker. Well, this brought back some bad memories. In 2022, I had a hip replacement, and a week later, for no apparent reason, my pelvis broke at the site of the new hip. I was in a wheelchair for more than 3 months. For much of that time, I could do nothing for myself. I couldn't dress, I couldn't bathe, I couldn't make a meal, I couldn't go to the doctor, I couldn't go outside without help. And all the time, I was knowing that my muscles were atrophying. I was scared that I was losing my vitality and becoming too infirm to function. Once I was permitted to use my legs, my #1 goal became relearning how to walk. And it took me a year before I graduated from physical therapy. And then I started to really strengthen the leg, enough to feel that sense of vitality. When I went back to a walker 2 weeks ago, I began to panic. My worst fear was that I'd become too old to function. Now, I know a lot about dealing with fear. I meditate every day, I study energy healing, I get exercise, I eat well, I'm the poster child. And I have models and so-called wisdom and practices. In fact, this is fundamental to what I've taught and coached for 3 decades. But in my own cloud of fear, I had access to none of that. And that's what happens to human beings when we're that frightened or angry or grieving or in pain. Our reptilian brain kicks in, causing the energy in our limbs to speed up and everything else to slow down. This is the fight, flight, and freeze reactions you've heard about. And it's biological. It's aimed at keeping us safe when there's a lion about to eat us. But even in the current day, without these real-life lions, all the things that kick in the pain, the fear, the anger, the grief, the biological reactions are the same. And this same response totally shuts down the part of our brain that plans and strategizes and carries our wisdom. In that cloud, we have no access to that. Maybe some of you have had that experience. So there I was, in a panic and hanging out in that cloud, totally stuck. I was stress eating, snarky to my husband, ruminating, telling myself to snap out of it, all the things that I do, maybe we all do, when we're under the cloud of fear. So it turns out that earlier this week, I had my weekly meeting with a group that I've actually been meeting with since the start of COVID, now 3.5 years ago. It's a group from my community of energy healers, and 4 of us have been literally once a week we get together on Zoom. I told my friends what was going on. They let me finish my story before they spoke. They were empathetic. They offered their compassion and their love. They reminded me of other times I'd experienced something like this and how I dug out of it. They shared their own experiences of being in the cloud to remind me that I wasn't alone. In a nutshell, they helped me bear the fear. Within about 30 minutes, the cloud lifted. I remembered what I knew about fear and pain. I could see more possibilities, like that the physical therapy really was starting to work. And I wouldn't lose my vitality, and even if I did, because eventually all of us will, should we live that long. I had people who loved me and would help me through it. The world felt brighter, and when I got up to walk, I was shocked to discover that the pain was less. We need each other to help us bear the pain of life. There are more things I've learned over the years, strategies, practices, perspectives for how to help each other celebrate and how to help each other bear our fear. And in the few moments I have left, I want to touch on one more thing. This is going to sound so obvious. In order for people to celebrate with us, we have to tell them we have something to celebrate. We have to move beyond our self-talk of don't brag and don't be egotistical, and women don't talk about that. And by the way, men don't talk about that either sometimes. And in order for people to help us with pain, we have to tell them something's wrong, that we're sick or frightened, that we hurt. We have to move past our self-talk of don't complain, or you look weak and that's bad, or we just don't do that. And there's the rub. We have to be authentic, courageous, countercultural. We have to learn constantly about the habits and the messages we were taught earlier in life and how to rewrite them in order to change our self-talk so we can even see the possibility of speaking up on our own behalf. And we have to learn compassion for ourselves so we can have compassion for others, so we can sit with them when they're hurting and really listen and empathize. I bet every one of us has told our employees or colleagues or friends or family to let us know when they hurt. You have to let me know. Why wouldn't you tell me? Tell me. But how many of us speak up when we're hurt? We need to do this as leaders. In order to build relationships and be collaborative, in order for people to trust us, they need to see the real us. Not as weak and hurting, but as strong women able to speak our truth and let people know us. As great listeners, able to understand and develop those who work with us and for us. As fierce advocates fighting for the world we want to live in. Martha Mertz knew this. I've just named her entire list of Athena leadership principles. Live authentically, learn constantly, advocate fiercely, act courageously, foster collaboration, build relationships, give back, and celebrate. And we're here tonight to celebrate some incredibly competent, generous leaders who live into the Athena principles. And we're here tonight because we need each other. Thank you.